back to Premier League action, and it was an interesting week of European football. And thankfully, or not thankfully, all the English teams survived. The Manchester City made that late, progress, and we're still going to see all the English teams in the next round, which is good at least for English football. But yeah, now we are back to domestic talk, the Premier League, of course, which is our focus for this video. And first off, we're starting with one of the surprises of the season, Nottingham Forest. No one could have predicted that they would be, in top four by this stage of the season. And they've actually put on a beautiful unbeaten run until they saw it come to an end at the hands of Bournemouth. I mean, it was not a surprise that they lost to Bournemouth, but I think the scoreline was pretty much surprising, 5-0, and now they take on Brighton as they hope to start yet another unbeaten run. Victor, do you think there's a good chance they can win this game?
It's a bit hard to say that defeat against Bournemouth. It wasn't just some regular defeat, a narrow smash and grab by Bournemouth or anything like that. It was 5-0. That's something that will probably still affect them a little bit, at least for a while.
Mhm.
That fight that they put up against Liverpool a few match days ago, we might not see that again this season from Forest, but on paper, sure, they should be beating Brighton, but I'll try to not be too doom and gloom here, and I'll say they play out a draw.
Yeah, fair enough. And still for you, Victor, we are set for a spectacle, if you like to call it. It might not be the game of this round, but it is definitely one of the games to look out for this weekend, if you ask me. Bournemouth welcome Liverpool, and it's set to be a very, very, very interesting match because Bournemouth are on form right now, and they've actually beaten a couple big sides this season. Arsenal, City, Tottenham, and they actually have confidence coming into this game. Do you think they can fancy their chances against Liverpool, Victor?
Yes, absolutely. So they've been very tough to play against all season long. I don't see Liverpool parading to a win in this one. The main danger for Bournemouth now is that they might get a little bit overconfident, especially after the manner of that win against Nottingham, and they might commit to attacking too much. Sure, Liverpool are not as much of a counter-attacking side this season as they used to be, but there are still plenty of elements that remind us of like Klopp's transition machines from seasons past, where they would get from defending a corner to shot on target in 6 seconds flat. Bournemouth
Yeah.
will need to have a measured approach for this, and if they want to get any sort of positive result. However, that being said, I think Liverpool will still win this one. But even if they don't, I don't think that a draw against one of the most informed sides in the league is the end of the world here, or the end of their title challenge, especially since Arsenal are taking on City.
Fair enough. And for you, Max, Everton have actually recorded two consecutive wins since the return of Moyes. And slowly, they are moving away from the relegation zone. They are now 6 points clear of the relegation zone. Just how massive has the turnaround in their fortunes been since Moyes came back?
Yeah, at least Everton started to play more brave, I'd say. They're not relying on defense as much as before, so now they at least go to attack and try to score. So for now, this is the biggest change. And also, they're playing Leicester this week, so I can see the third win in a row.
Yeah, fair enough. And still for you, Newcastle are actually in contention for a top four spot, and the race is actually set to heat up right now. City, they've looked bad in recent weeks, but now they're actually back in the top four race. And if you look at the table, they are not even far from Arsenal, when you think about it. But for Newcastle, do you think Isak's form could be the difference for them between now and the end of the season?
Well, as we know, not every person can play whole season as good as he's doing now.
Mhm.
So for now they're doing good, but if you drop at least a bit, they cannot finish in top four for me. So they should find other players to perform good, so they could climb top four if they want to.
Yeah, fair enough. Victor, do you think Isak can win the Golden Boot?
That might be a bit too far. I mean, look, they're taking on Fulham. They have a problem keeping clean sheets. They've only got 2 in the last 10 games. They've got a problem playing against mobile strikers like Isak. Isak might get 2 goals here. I fully expect him to do so. My FPL team also hopes he can do that. However, I don't think that he's got enough about him to win the Golden Boot. I'm sorry, it seems like it's Salah's turn.
Okay, fair enough. And now let's move on to predictions. Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Victor.
1-1.
Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Still me? 1-2.
Max, Bournemouth, Liverpool.
1-1.
1-1. Okay. For Newcastle, Fulham, Max.
I'd say 2-1 Newcastle.
And Victor, Newcastle, Fulham.
3-1. It might be a bit too optimistic, but I mean Newcastle-wise, but BTTS nevertheless.
Okay, fair enough. We're just going to see how all of this is going to play out. It's set to be yet another interesting week in the Premier League, and we will be here to see how all the action unfolds.